Hi, I'm Amanda. It's time for the news on Razor's Top 5. First up, a full-time national serviceman has been sentenced to 32 years in jail and 24 strokes of the cane for molesting and sexually assaulting 9 victims. Over a period of 16 months, 22-year-old Huang Shiyou trailed girls as young as 9 into lifts and threatened them with a penknife before he sexually assaulted them. Meanwhile, a 57-year-old retired pastor is recovering well from Asia's first combined heart and liver transplant. The following images may be disturbing to some viewers. Asia's first heart and liver transplant has bought retired pastor Mr. Lau Chin Kui another 10 years of life. Mr. Lau was diagnosed in 2006 with familial amyloid polyneuropathy, a rare genetic disorder that caused his nerves, heart and liver to deteriorate. After a 3-year wait, Mr. Lau underwent a combined heart-liver transplant on April 7th. 2 surgical teams from the National Heart Centre and the Singapore General Hospital performed the 12-hour, 20-minute-long surgery.
The risk involved is massive because one transplant in a patient like this is already going to be a big operation because in a patient who is thin, the healing process and the recovery is going to be prolonged. So with double organ transplantation, we think that the risk is going to be huge.
The teams had debated whether the surgery should be done, but were convinced by Mr. Lau's will to live.
Thankful that God used so many people, especially here in Singapore and in the health institution, and help me to promote my health.
Prices of HDB resale flats fell by 0.8% in the first quarter. This comes after an increase of 1.4% in the fourth quarter of 2008. In the wake of falling prices, resale transactions rose by 4.2% from 6,186 cases to about 6,446 cases. The Housing Development Board said it plans to launch another 2,400 built-to-order flats over the next 6 months. The bulk of the new flat supply would be in Punggol. Now here's a look at Singapore in 60 seconds. A recovery crane has been put in place to support the damaged crane that is dangling from the top of a 36-story building at Ardmore Park. The Manpower Ministry says it is working with the contractor, Polian Construction, to ensure safe removal of the damaged crane. Singapore's manufacturing output plunged 33.9% from a year ago. This is due to a decline in the electronics and drugs production. Only the transport engineering, aerospace and marine offshore engineering segments registered growth. An accountant has been jailed for 5.5 years for pocketing $500,000 from 11 firms. Lim Xiao Kok took $544,000 from his previous employers and gambled them away. Private home prices fell 14.1% in the first quarter. This is the third quarterly decline since June 2008. Private residential rents also fell 8.5%. And that was our Singapore Minute. Back to Razor's Top 5. 7 in 10 Singaporeans retrenched in the third quarter of 2008 were re-employed by December. Among those who were retrenched, 56% secured employment in the same industry from which they were shed. Professionals, managers, executives and technicians or PMETs were not spared. Redundancies rose from 31% in 2007 to 37% in 2008. Manpower Minister Gan Kim Yong urged people to take a positive attitude despite the recession because there are still jobs available.
With regard to the PMETs, the tertiary graduates who are affected by the downturn, we recognize that this downturn, more PMETs are likely to be affected than previous downturns. Although the number shows that the rank and file remain still the majority of the people affected, but in terms of PMETs, more of them will be affected this time than the previous recession. And that is why we have recently introduced the Professional Skills Program, PSP, specifically targeted at the PMETs. I think we want to reach out to them to help them adapt. Some of them may need some training, some may not need training, but I would, as I said, I would like to encourage them to approach our career consultants so that our career consultants can better understand their needs their profile, their skill sets, and try to help them determine what kind of training they need and what kind of jobs will be suitable for them. And we will hold their hand and guide them through this recession. I think working together with the career consultants will enhance the chances of them finding jobs rather than to be on their own. So I will encourage them to approach the CDCs, approach our job centers, so that our career consultants can help them along. Mature worker is the same thing.
A local film has been selected for screening at the 41st Directors Fortnight in Cannes. It is called Here and is directed by Singapore filmmaker Ho Tzu Yen. The film tells the story of a middle-aged man who struggles to make sense of his reality following the sudden death of his wife. This is the 5th consecutive year that a Singapore film has been featured at the Cannes Film Festival. And that's all for now. If you have any news, photos or videos to share with us, email them to razortv@sbh.com.sg or MMS us at 75557. Also join in our Razor TV forums to share your views and opinions. Join us again on Monday from 2 p.m. for more updates.